What's going on, guys? My name's Adam. Welcome back to the Flip Room, and today I've got another raw video for you guys. So I checked my Monzo account, which is my business account, and it turns out I've spent over 10 grand sourcing on Vinted over the past year. For anyone new around here, I buy things normally from car boots, charity shops, wholesale, and I sell it online, predominantly on eBay. However, over the past 12 months, I've done a lot of sourcing on the Vinted, and as my bank balance shows, I spent over 10 grand sourcing on Vinted. So I've done very well. I say I've done very well. I've learned a lot along the way, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today in today's video. Kind of the do's and don'ts of Vinted, especially as we come into the winter season now. It's more difficult, obviously, with the car boots kind of shutting down because of the weather, the light, etc. And with charity shops, their pricing really going through the roof. For me now, wholesale, Vinted and places like this tends to do me better throughout this season, until at least car boots reopen again in the spring. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Here are my 11 tips for sorting on Vinted. Number one, saved searches. So be niche by category, by price, by size. So it's very easy to do this. Literally go to a Vinted app, search in Levi jeans, then you can filter by men's, select all the sizes that you want, filter by price, apply. And then once you've done that once, if you go back into the search, on the right hand side there'll be a little like a bookmark. Click that and it'll be then forever saved until you choose to delete it. That way when you refresh the application, it will show you, hey, there's 10 new listings, and that's it. You can then swipe and that's it. You will then see the 10 newest listings. What you normally find is obviously the stuff that goes on there the soonest is normally snapped up the quickest, and that's the same with car boots, right? The earlier you get there, the early bird catches the worm. And normally once you have those saved searches in place by size, by price, blah blah blah, and once you find something that meets that condition, that's it, you need to snap it up. Number two, because Vinted has become very popular here in the UK, it's very easy, and I fell into this trap, to overbuy. Don't overbuy, don't get carried away. Be disciplined in what you do. There's always new listings. There's always, like, honestly, it doesn't matter. There's always people posting, there's always people listing, and it's very easy to fall into the trap of, oh, that's quite cheap. I'll buy. But then you forget about the whole, the processing time it takes to get delivered to you, the processing time it takes for you to, list it on your platform, wherever that may be, and it can be a lag. So it's very easy to do. Don't overbuy. And number three is don't force it. Remain disciplined. Don't buy something unless it meets your metrics. It's very easy to see, hey, these it cost me 5 and I can sell it for 20, but you need to consider obviously the buyer protection, which is normally another £1, the shipping, which is another like £2.50. So that really you're looking, £8.50-ish for something that may have cost £5 listing price, and you sell it for 20, but then you've got to pay eBay fees plus promotion fees, potentially plus free shipping. Those profit margins get squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. So you need to find your metric. You need to find out what your if you're looking to sell something for £20, what should your buy price, what does your buy price needs to be? And it probably needs to be really, really low. You probably need to, if you're looking to buy in Vintage, you probably need to have a higher average cost of sale. So for me, I need to try and find something that's going to sell for £30, and I need to buy it for like £5, because because of the fees in between, your profit margins really get squeezed otherwise. So yeah, just be disciplined and don't force it. Number three. Number four, know what to avoid. This is really, really important. And again, you need to become niche and a bit specialized in what you do here. So for me, I collect trainers, as you can see here, and I know that, hey, for me, like the Nike Air Max 270s are prone to having burst bubbles and rips. So I would potentially tend to stay away from them, because I just know they're more trouble than it's worth. And it's very hard when you're buying online. You can only go by some pictures, and the pictures are normally quite poor, and the description doesn't tell you anything. So just know what to avoid. Something like Adidas suede trainers. Suede for me is a nightmare to clean, so I just stay away from them if I can, unless I know that the condition looks spot on, and I'll take a bit of an educated guess. But just know what to avoid. Maybe if you're specialized in jeans, I used Levi's earlier, you may know that, hey, this particular version of Levi's tend to have like 40 zips or like, I don't know, 40 hem, or I don't know, wherever it may be, you'll get to know kind of what to, even though it's potentially a good buy, you'll know what to avoid as well. Number 6, can you bundle? Something I've been doing a lot recently is, there may be something that doesn't quite hit the metric, like it's a good buy, but it isn't a great buy. Now the question is there other good buys within that potential deal that make it a great buy, right? So, hey, I've got this football top here. It doesn't quite hit the profit metrics. I'm not going to buy it because by the time I put the postage on, etc., it doesn't quite work. However, can I get 3 or 4 items from the same person to then enable me to then buy a bundle, which then does meet my metrics? So be where you can. If it doesn't quite hit the metric, go into the profile. Can you find 2 or 3 other things or just one other thing to make it competitive, to make it work for you? Number 5, avoid new accounts, specifically the ones that only ship with Royal Mail. It's probably a scam, so stay away from them. You see it often, right? They'll price something silly like a brand new pair of Nike Air Force Ones for like £2, and the shipping is always Royal Mail second class, because I think what they do is they effectively just send you anything to get the tracking number, and then the funds get released. And guess what? When you receive it, wherever it may be some Reese's peanut butter cups, hashtag not sponsored, but these are the best chocolates. To get your £2 back, I'm gonna have to return those, even though it's not even the item that you should have sent me. To get my money back, I'm gonna have to return that, unless Vinted step in and help you out. But they tend to they tend to support, you know, the scam is crazy. Just be really mindful of that. Just stay away from it. Don't do it unless they're shipping via every Yodel or Locker One. Then I stay away from the Royal Mail tracked ones. I think it's got scam written all over it. Number 7 is returned not as described items, right? So you can do it. If something comes in and say you've got this football top here, and you didn't see, or it wasn't even listed or recognised in the photo that it had a massive stain on the back. It doesn't, but you get the idea. It had a big stain on the back and it was not listed, it wasn't photographed, it wasn't mentioned. Just open a return, not as described. However, you do need to be mindful that you will have to pay the postage return. That is one of the only cons of Vinted, is even if they send you the wrong item or they send you something that's not even as described, you have to pay the return postage. But return it, because you're probably not going to get that money back for it on any other platform anyway. So yeah, return not as described items. Number 8 is a contradiction. Be quick, but be slow. So what I mean by this is a new listing comes up. It looks great. You need to look over the photos as much as you can in as quick time as possible. Look at the tread, look at the condition, zoom in, like just be quick, be mindful. But also just take your time. Oh, maybe I didn't realize it's a size 5, but it's a size 5 kids junior youth trainer. Doesn't work, right? So just like try and take 2 or 3 seconds just to like validate in your mind that this is right, and as soon as you've made that decision, go press buy. So yeah, that's a bit of a contradiction, but that will come with time. So be quick but be slow. I know that doesn't make any sense, but you'll get it. And that kind of leads on to number 9 quite nicely, is make a quick decision to buy or not to buy. Like, and don't ponder it. Like you go into something and then this comes onto the bonus one, which is like trust your gut. Maybe everything is like green, but there's just something that goes, I'm just not too sure. Just like buy it, don't buy it, don't buy it. Whatever you don't do is like, don't go, oh, I'm not too sure, maybe I'll think about it, I'll come back to it later on, it's too late. Just make a decision, move on, be done with it. And sometimes I just leave it. I go, no, something doesn't feel right, something isn't adding up, I'm not too sure about that, I can't quite see the sole, for me, like the sole of the trainer, are they beat up? Do I make a, an educated guess based on the other condition of the shoe? And I'll make a decision to buy or not to buy, and then that's it. It's out of my mind. So yeah, and number 10 is probably the most, this will cause some debates in the comment, is where possible, avoid sending offers. Told you it's going to be a debatable one. And that's because it's too slow. Most of the times it's too slow. If something hits your metrics, buy it. You don't need to be greedy about it, because if it hits your metrics, it probably hits other people's metrics as well, and they're going to buy it. Okay? it's a competitive landscape. You need to be quick. If you see something, it works for you, it works on your profit margins, just buy it. Just buy it. You ain't got to send an offer. You only get 5 offers anyway. What's the point? So just be mindful of that. If something doesn't quite hit your metrics and you need to get it for like £2-3 less or whatever it may be to hit that metric, then make the offer. Like that's where you make an offer, not because you're trying to be greedy with it. I don't mean to sound rude about it, but like if you're already making the profit you need to make, just buy it. Just buy it. And then the last one I've got is avoid. Do you know when you can filter by condition? Just ignore it. Just don't worry about it, because everyone's perception on condition is different. So like for me, I could think, oh, that's good condition, but to you that could be very good condition. To someone else it could be satisfactory condition. It's just like people's perception, which doesn't mean anything really. Like just go by the photos and go by potentially what someone's written in the contact field. Like I would very rarely base my decision on what someone's marked as the condition, because that varies on people's own judgment, and it's very hard to like, just someone could put very good condition but they're actually beat up. Like you just don't know, or vice versa. So just be, yeah, like just make your own decision up on the condition. And condition is absolutely key in this game, because if someone has got a tear, a rip, a hole in it, or you know is defective, then it really affects the resale price. So you need to make a really conscious decision on what that condition is before you purchase, if at all possible. And again, you're only going by a very limited amount of information. Unlike people on eBay, they put generally a more, you know, rounded description, more higher quality photos. With Vinted, you don't get that. Normally, not always, you don't get that. So you're having to make educated guesses to some of this, and that's fine as well, and that will come with time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this raw kind of chat. I always like to do these every now and then, just kind of what I've learned along the way. Hopefully, even if you are an experienced Vinted sniper, you may have taken away 1 or 2 tips from this, or if you're brand new, it may save you a lot of money. If you're brand new to this, the number one rule I can say is learn a niche, get good at it. Like with jeans, you could like really zone in on, okay, Levi jeans, I know that's a big E, or I know that's a big E's like on the tag on the back, right? Or I know that's vintage, or I know that's got a particular style to it, so like flare style, or like whatever it may be. And I know they're the ones that have the better resale value. You become really niched, really good at one category, and then you can kill it, but you have to be good at it. And yeah, obviously leading on to that is then get those safe searches, be disciplined on what you buy. Don't overbuy at first. Very easy to do, very easy to get carried away in buying stuff just because you need to buy some stuff, right? As with anything, like it peaks and flows. Some days you find lots, some days you find none. Don't force it, just ease your way into it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this type of video. If you did, make sure you hit the like, leave a comment down below. If you haven't already, go check out the Flipping Pod, which is my podcast channel, also here found on this channel. Yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Any questions, drop me a DM over my Instagram. My Instagram is @thefliproom, and I'll catch you guys soon.